everyone, and welcome to Club 4, episode 30 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along, and welcome to crunch time in the entire series. We started with no coaching badges, no playing experience. We started in a team in Ireland and worked our way all the way up to Manchester City. And today we reached the second leg of our Champions League semi-final against Barcelona. We've got an advantage from the first leg. If we get to the final, next episode will end the entire series. Can we do it today? Can we make it through to the final? Let's find out. So this really is the big opportunity for us. We've worked all the way through to the year of 2034 to get to this point. And we are one game away from getting to a Champions League final and potentially therefore ending this entire series. We've got Barcelona in said second leg of the Champions League semi-final, and we are already quite a way up from the first leg. 3-0 in the first game. Foden, O'Connor and Ulysses all with goals in that first leg. At home, it must be said. So we now have to go to Camp Nou, the new camp, to play Barcelona away from home. But you remember, we've already played them in the first half of this season in the group stages and done well against them there. So confidence is high. Form is exceptionally good. We had a little bit of a blip against Swansea, but that's okay because actually we'd already pretty much won the title by that point. And we are now crowned champions of England. We are in the final of the FA Cup against Liverpool, long-standing rivals in this last few seasons. We've already won the League Cup. We already won the Community Shield. Can we do a clean sweep in the very final season, potentially, of this entire series? So today is about Barcelona away from home in the Champions League semi-final second leg. Can we get the result we're looking for? Let's go into the tactics page and see what we've got in store for them. Even if I do say so myself, we've done a great job recently about rotating this squad around when we can to keep everybody playing, but everybody fit and healthy too. So we've reached the climax of this season, whatever happens from this point onwards, and we've got a full squad to choose from in the biggest game of the season so far. So, of course, we've gone for our number one starting 11 in the Champions League, which is Romero in goal, Rivero and Romario in central defence, Magnoni at right back, Cruz at left back, Camavinga, Roberto and Foden in central midfield with Null on the right, Ulysses on the left and O'Connor up top, with a bench of Cork, Dansberg, Ur, Matilla, Olart, Cesar and Gibbons. So let's get into this crunch game and see what happens. So rather than telling them that they desperately need to win this, what I have said to them is I expect you to come back after this match as finalists. So it doesn't matter what this result is as long as we go through to that final. So it got some motivation as a response from a couple of the players, which is good. So let's see if we can deliver in one of the biggest footballing arenas that there is possibly to play in against a side that are not quite as they once were. We have done well against them so far this season, including the previous match where we beat them 3-0. But away from home is always tricky. So we've got to be at our best and concentrate. Let's see if we can manage that. Camavinga demonstrates the leadership qualities in that central midfield. Nicks the ball away from them, but then we give it straight back again whilst playing it about in midfield ourselves, and Barcelona come back at us. But again, Foden with a sort of half-headed chance to clear it away, but again it goes back to Barca and they come straight back at us down the right-hand side into the box, get a chance to get a cross in. They ride a challenge from Cruz, but Romario sees the danger, sees the opportunity to nick in there, does so really well and gets it up front to O'Connor all the way through to a goal, and then he hits the side netting. But that's how dangerous we can be on the counter-attack if Barca aren't on their game totally. Again, it's them, though, with a throw-in down this right-hand side. You can see the pattern of play is going to be them quite dominant in possession, which you'd kind of expect. Can we hold firm, keep them out early enough, and then try and counter-attack on them if possible at times and see if we can get our own opportunity. They had to go all the way back to come forward again, though. They nearly lost the ball there, but again they keep their possession just about. They've worked the space into that central point, and a good save by Romero in goal for us, and pushes it round the post for a corner kick. But a good chance for Barca that eventually the goalkeeper managed to save, and then the header off the corner kick goes sailing over the top of the bar, and it doesn't cause us any problems. But again, right the way down in their defensive unit this time, they have another throw-in, so they've got possession of the ball. We are not seeing enough of the ball at the moment, but we nick it at that point, and Akana gets through on goal and has another weak finish. That's 2 for him so far. He's in such good form, but 2 weak shots so far mean that we're still even in this particular tie, but of course still 3-0 up after the first one. Again, they have a long shot that we block, and we manage to regain possession in our defensive unit, which is great. Noel picks it up on the right hand side, drives at the defence right into the box and through on goal, and then again hits the side netting. So we are getting through, we are counter-attacking really well, but we're just not finding the quality on the finishes. Obviously, with that 3-0 advantage from the home leg that we've already got, it's not imperative that we score, but it would be just nice to get an away goal and cause them all sorts of problems, because that would mean they'd have to score 5 because of that away goal. So can we do it on this particular chance? Foden on the ball in midfield, drops it to Camavinga, back into Noel on the right hand side, and then he loses out to his fullback, and they partially clear it, but Cruz is there to pick up the ball again for us, and we're doing well at the moment of penning Barcelona in. Noel down the right hand side, there's a chance, and we make it count with Akana in the centre spot, right at the top of the 6-yard box, and we go 1-0 up on the night, 4-0 up on aggregate. It leaves them needing 5, and that is absolutely the tie done at this point, I would suggest. I was comfortable enough at 3-0, but now that we've got that away goal, and it was Ulysses, I think, that eventually put it in. Was it? Or was it Akana? Difficult to tell. They've given it to Akana. It seemed as though Ulysses might have poked a foot out but didn't quite make the contact. Noel again sweeps it across the front of the goal. There's nobody quite there. I think it was probably a half shot from Noel that time, when it possibly could have come back slightly to Akana. But yeah, that's the way that one worked out. And again, Barcelona still trying, still keeping their possession stats up in terms of the percentage of possession. And they've worked it from left to right, but then Cruz nicks in and gets the ball again, and we're working very hard defensively to keep them out, and we're doing a grand job of it so far. And Cruz runs half the length of the pitch to get it over the halfway line, drops it off to Ulysses, who comes more central, works it onto his right foot, and then puts a really weak shot at the goal, wasn't it? Well wide. You could see it as soon as it left his foot, it was going nowhere near. And again, Barcelona this time right down in our defensive unit, get a right-sided throw-in. They're keeping the pressure on. Again, we get a partial clearance, but they pick it up on the edge of the box and maintain the possession, working their shooting opportunity, and there's a goal back. Ansu Fati with a goal for them in the 28th minute. You could feel it coming, wouldn't you, as it was working across the top of the penalty box here. They move it out wide left, and then it drops back into Ansu Fati. A lovely 1-2 to open up the space, and he makes no mistake with the shot at all, and Romero had no answer to it on that occasion. 4-1 now on aggregate. Is this a mini comeback, or is that just a consolation goal? We'll see. They've had loads of attempts, haven't they? 12 shots at goal, only 4 on target, though. We've had 7 and 2 for ourselves, which is, you know, it's kind of what you'd expect. I was expecting a much bigger percentage gap on the possession than we've actually seen. I thought that Barcelona were probably up at around the 60-65% mark, but they're not. They're only at 52. So we're having more of the ball than it felt like in the highlight section, just because they've created more chances. But so far, you can't have asked for much more, really. 1-1 on the night, okay, brilliant. But 4-1 up on aggregate, and they still need to score another 4 goals for us, against us, should I say, to cause us any problems. So we'll tell him that we're happy with how things are going, keep it up, because we are. We gave them the instruction at the very beginning of the game to just come back as finalists. It doesn't matter what the result is, as long as we get into that final, and it looks like we're going to do it. And it looks like next episode is going to be the very final episode episode of the entire Rolling in the Isles series. It's been going since October, November time of last year. So we're in September now. So what's that, like 10 months, 11 months? I've been playing this for a very long time. We've worked through 4 different clubs, through Ireland, through Wales, into the Championship of England, and then up into the Premier League, and now into the top echelons of European football. We started with no coaching badges, no Sunday. We only had like limited amount of Sunday League football as experience in playing terms, so we had to build a managerial career from scratch, and we have managed to get all the way up to the heights of European football. And today is a day to celebrate the fact that we have got this Man City side playing in the best possible way. It doesn't matter what the result is going to be today, I don't think, because of that 3-0 advantage that we had from the first leg. But we've got them playing so well that it's just a case of sitting back and watching them go, really. 70 minutes in, there's been a couple of highlights in the second half, but nothing particularly special. And we're now going to change it up a little bit and just keep a few fresh legs onto the pitch. So Matilla comes in for Roberto, and then we've got a yellow card for Magnoni. But I think we're going to risk that and leave him there, are we? No, we're not. We're going to play Dansberg, or we'll play Cork down that right-hand side and just allow him to secure that right-sided berth up for us a little bit in the last few minutes of the game. And then we're going to make one more change, and I think we're going to take Noel out and put Gibbons in. Noel and Roberto not having their best games, but ultimately they didn't need to, because other teammates stepped up and did it for us today. Again, Barcelona on the attack down the right-hand side, and again we take the ball from them. That defensive structure has been really solid today. That time it was Ulysses dropping back from midfield into that defensive unit to help out. But again, we lose the ball in possession and Barca come back, and again Cruz niggles at it. It goes near post though, and eventually Barcelona make another breakthrough with Drews at that near post. Again, you could feel that they had a couple of bites of the cherry here. We got cleared once. We had a little niggle there to try and get it cleared. Didn't quite work. And then when the ball came in at the near post, it was a good half volley from Drews, and they go 2-1 up on the day. And we'll still make all of our substitution changes. And then we'll see whether we can hold out for the last 15 minutes or so of the game. We're going to drop our attacking back into balanced just to hold on to the ball a little bit more when we get it. But it's again Barcelona with a highlight for themselves, working it again down the right-hand side. The structure of defence is there, though. All the men are behind the ball, bar one. Can we hold out again and get it back into our own possession? We don't. And then there's a good block on the shot down that left-hand fullback position. I guess it was probably Cruz doing that, but it was a wonderful piece of defending, and Matilla runs all the way down to the other end of the pitch with the ball really quite unopposed, but gets the danger away from our area for a little moment. And now we get to work it again. Cruz into Romario in the centre of defence, and then Cruz goes over the top. Was there an offside decision there at all? If it wasn't, a corner scores, but I think there was. The linesman flagged early, and I could kind of see it myself. But at least we've relieved the pressure from our defensive unit a bit. And I think we can finally breathe a sigh of relief. They got 2 goals back on us. They've got one more attempt maybe in them. But again, we take the ball away from them. And again, we chuck it up to a corner. Can he hold the ball up and wait for reinforcements? He does very nicely. Olart is the player that's there for it. And he blasts the ball against a defender, though, but then wins the ball back, working really hard for this team. And that's what this team has been very, very good at this season. Everybody working for each other extremely hard, even when we've lost the ball. And again, we've done so, and Barcelona come through the centre of our midfield, but again, the brick wall is there. Matilla that time comes away with the ball, and it finds its way to Olart down the right-hand side, gets a wild shot again. It doesn't trouble anybody, let alone the keeper. I don't think it would trouble 4 keepers with 4 goals going off in that direction. It was so far wide. But there we go. That's just the way it worked. So for us, a little bit today on some of our shots, our long shots specifically, weren't quite accurate enough. But fortunately for us, neither were Barcelona there. Just there, as they could have potentially put a bit of pressure on us with the last few minutes of the game to go. But that is the final whistle, and we have made the Champions League final 4-2 on aggregate. And next episode will end the entire Rolling in the Isles series. So let's go and give the team talk first off and passionately say congratulations, you've dreamt of playing in the final and now you're going to be able to do it. I'm delighted for you. So we'll build up the motivation and the momentum behind the squad again and the morale of the team. And now let's go and have a look at the analysis page and just see what we can learn about how we were successful today in our match against Barcelona. So you can see the heat maps for us were a little bit more. They had a lot more in the attacking third, didn't they, for their heat map. But defensively was where we really, really won it today. We let in 2 goals. Absolutely we did. But we saved an absolutely stack load of others from getting through. Some real last-ditch attempts at tackling, and the goalkeeper played well enough here and there to deny them a few chances. And offensively, we didn't quite do what we were hoping to do today, but ultimately it didn't matter, did it really? So we were in our black strip, so it's this section that we're looking at in terms of the focus of attack, and you can see that we attacked them from all fronts, whereas they worked primarily down the right hand side, and it didn't work from them. Cruz and Ulysses down that left hand side were absolutely phenomenal for us in the real tricky moments. O'Connor is the guy that got our best rating, 7.4. Drews was player of the match for them though at 8.4. Claudio Roberto and Noel not having their best games, remember, but still really important as we got through to this point. If we move on and we go to the team scenario and look at these shots that we eventually had specifically off target, and we take away the Barcelona ones, just focus on ourselves. Look at that. We absolutely peppered their goal, but a lot of them were very wayward. 1, 2, I mean, what this one was, oh, that was the one that went across I knew it was a shot and not a cross when he crossed it across the 6-yard box and it hit the corner flag basically. But we had like half a dozen that absolutely flew over the top of the bar or round the side of the bar of the post and just didn't really challenge the goalkeeper quite enough. So that was a little bit disappointing when we had so many efforts, but who is complaining? I'm really not today of all days, having this is always a fun one to look at, isn't it? The completed passes just looks like a sea of dots, doesn't it really? But it's this one that I like more, the intercepted passes. And this is something that we need to continually to try and improve on, that we continue to find the people that we want when we're moving the ball forward. Today you can see that there was quite a hefty clump of passes that came out from the back here that didn't find their target. So maybe we have to rethink that a little bit, or maybe we would if we weren't going to stop the series after next episode. We can't do anything about this now, can we? This isn't too bad, the out of play. I mean, I'd like a few less, of course I would, but it's not too bad, is it? If we close down those and we go and have a look at the interceptions, this is what I want to see today. You can see that we intercepted very, very successfully in and around our penalty box. A couple of really key ones in the centre there. These couple out here by Cruz were really crucial, and you can see Ulysses dropping back and doing his job as well. Interceptions missed, okay, fair enough. That's part of the game. Blocked shots, this is another one right in the heart of that defence. We had a couple from Romario and from Cruz. We had another one from Romario on the top of the penalty box, and one really, really on the goal line almost from Cruz. So those two players played magnificently well to keep the ball out the back of our net, didn't they? It was phenomenal performance defensively. And one last thing on the crosses, we'll see the completed crosses. We worked very, very well from both sides, really. You can see that Noel and Magnoni down the right-hand side got a few in, as did Cruz and Ulysses down the left-hand side. Intercepted ones, quite a few weren't there. Again, this is, that's part of coming up against a solid defence, that they are able to clear their lines. But I think we played fantastically well overall. And you can see that by the fact that even though that we lost this particular match, going through 4-2 on aggregate was pretty special against Barcelona when it really mattered and the pressure was on. So let's go out of the game, the match day scenario, and let's find out, if we can, who it is that we're going to be playing in an all-English final of the Champions League. Man City to play Arsenal in the final of the Champions League. Fantastic. A real rival of ours this season. If we go and have a look at the competition page, you can see they're third place currently in the Premier League. They are 1 point behind Liverpool in second place. So we've got Liverpool in the FA Cup. We've got Arsenal in the Champions League final to end this particular series. So, of course, that's what we're coming back for. I've got a couple of Premier League matches to play. I've got the FA Cup final against Liverpool to play. We've already won that competition in this series. So we will focus next episode, the very last episode of the entire series, against the Arsenal in the Champions League final. I hope you're going to come back and join me for that. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be quite surreal to end this particular series. I think it's somewhere between like 150 and 180 episodes or something like that. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but it's been a long ride and so much has happened to my channel in that time. So we'll celebrate all of that kind of stuff as we go through to the final next episode. We'll look back a little bit of where we've come from, and we'll talk a little bit about the future of what's coming up next in terms of other series on the channel, and we'll do that all on Monday evening at 6:30. So I hope you join me for that. Thank you for joining me today, though. Wonderful in the end. Even though we lost, we got through to that final. We achieved our goal. The series ends, whatever the result is on Monday, whether we win or lose, that will be it. So I hope you join me for that. Thank you for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. There's loads more stuff for us to do as a channel. This is not an end point for a channel at all. So join the fun and join my United City community, and play your part in where we go next. Thank you for the likes that you've been putting on the channel recently. If you could do that for me again today and click that like button, that'd be great. That helps get seen by lots of other people. Go and check out the links in the description below to both my Patreon and my merchandise store. That helps me continue to produce the channel moving forward. Until next time, though, for the very last episode of Rolling in the Aisles, thanks very much for joining me today. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.